Welcome back to WWE 2K22 MyRise with X-23, and we start this episode with Road Dogg in the Performance Center, who actually has an interesting offer for us.
Got something cool lined up if you're interested. You could be in the next WWE 2K video game.
Really? That's amazing.
Well, to be clear, it wouldn't be you, as in like a character that is you. But when someone is getting beat up in the game, that will be your movements.
You're not really selling this.
You get to wear one of those cool mocap suits.
Get to?
Basically, the producers of the game need you to last 5 minutes with a WWE superstar so they can get enough footage of their moves.
Would I at least get a free copy of the game?
No promises. So do you want to do it or no?
After they see me in the ring, there's no doubt they'll give me a bigger role.
That's the spirit.
That's his offer, is the mocap challenge, a chance to be in a WWE video game, pretty much like this one. So it's Laura Kinney versus Raquel Gonzalez, and we need to survive 5 minutes, avoid being knocked out in the 5 minutes. Now, don't know a massive amount about Raquel Gonzalez. Looking at her, she's a lot bigger than we are, she's probably a lot stronger. She's going for a big move already off the middle rope there, and that is taking a lot of damage to us straight away. This surviving 5 minutes looks to be pretty tough. We're going to do our best to stay within this and try. We can't really win, but try and survive as best as possible, while also trying to put on a show. I think that's the important thing. But taking Raquel Gonzalez down now, she had the best of the start of the match. We need to try and build this up, and Laura Kinney trying to get herself back into this. Nice slide, drop kick there. And we're nearly a minute in, and we're okay. There was always this worry that we'd just be steamrollered, and this would become really difficult. But actually, we're not doing too badly now. We had a really poor start. Laura Kinney's getting back into the match now, and Gonzalez, well, she's struggling really to get out or deal with our offense at this point. Nice move here by Laura Kinney, takes Raquel Gonzalez down once again. And we seem to have the best of the action so far. Raquel Gonzalez struggling to really get back into this, although she does roll out the way of that move. And Laura Kinney needs to try and keep the momentum going. Nice kick there. I think the moveset we've chosen for Laura Kinney actually does suit her style as well, quite a lot. So I think we've done a good choice with her moveset. I think there's a few things we could still tweak, but generally Laura Kinney seems to be quite well rounded in the style we want her to be. Nice elbow off the top rope there. Kind of didn't really do the damage we wanted. It kind of bounced around more than we wanted to there, but it still hit, and that's the important part. Now we need to try and focus now. Raquel Gonzalez trying to get herself back into the match. It's not really a match, we've just got to survive. But the more offense we have, the more likely we are to survive this. That's the important thing. We're not putting on the top rope now. Bit of a combination here by Laura Kinney. We've seen this move before, I believe. It's quite a nice combination to add together. I do like the combination moves. I think they really add a new element to things. And what is she going for here? Reverse Hurricanrana off the top rope. Raquel Gonzalez doesn't know what's hit her, and she's struggling to get back to her feet now. Laura Kinney looks like she's setting something up here. We think we know what it is. It's going to be the Talon attack from Laura Kinney. Yes, I know the name's not fantastic. If you've got any suggestions for the name for this move, please let me know in the comments. As you go for the Mirage Feint to finish the move off. Not Mirage Feint, sorry. That was the Rage Trigger, but it was reversed by Raquel Gonzalez. Completely getting the moves mixed up myself there. So Rage Trigger was reversed. Raquel Gonzalez managed to get round that one. But Laura Kinney hasn't finished just yet. We did manage to hit the Talon attack. Missing with the drop kick there as Raquel Gonzalez celebrates in the ring of us falling on her back. Okay, Laura Kinney needs to keep the momentum going. We've got 146 to survive. And we should do this. You know, it's a difficult matchup against someone a lot more experienced than we are, but we are definitely having the best of the action so far. For those who are not sure, this is on hard difficulty. Same difficulty we're doing with the Wolverine playthrough. Wolverine does tend to lose as well, strangely. Laura Kinney so far, I don't think we've lost a match as it stands. I was umming and ahhing about difficulty level, thinking, well, why are we winning all the time? You know, we lose with Wolverine quite a bit. So I checked difficulty level and no, it's the same. So I don't quite know why we're doing so well at this point. It will soon change, I'm sure. And Laura Kinney knocking Raquel Gonzalez down once again. Laura Kinney, she went for the crescent scythe out of nowhere. Fantastic move that can be done out of nowhere. But unfortunately, Raquel Gonzalez very quick to move out the way, and the crescent scythe missing. I think that's the first time we've missed with that move. But it's a lovely move that can just be done out of nowhere. I really like that. Okay, Raquel Gonzalez trying to build some momentum back, taking Laura Kinney down with the elbow. We are getting close to survival. It's 30 seconds to survive now. I don't think there's much chance of being knocked out, although you never know what can happen in the final seconds of the match. Laura Kinney has battled hard for this. I think this should be a decent finish. As I say, we don't need a pin, we just need to survive for 5 minutes, and that, I think, is what we've done. Nice kick up there, and a nice kick to take Raquel Gonzalez down. Laura Kinney looks like she's setting something up. It is going to be the Mirage feint set up in the corner. Can we hit it before the time runs out? No. What a shame. We could have finished the match with the Mirage feint, but unfortunately ran out of time. We have finished the mocap challenge. And now we have Josie Jane in the locker room waiting for us. She wants to have a quick word. I wonder what she wants this time.
Well, if it isn't Miss Lucky.
I earned everything I've gotten, Josie. You know that.
No, you haven't. If I hadn't been banged up, I would have been the one to defeat Sasha Banks, not you.
I guess we'll have to agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree? No, we won't. I'm finally 100%. I want a rematch.
I'm not afraid to get my nails dirty. I'm in.
So she thinks she can actually beat us this time because she's back to full health. Well, we're about to find out. It is Laura Kinney versus Josie Jane at the Performance Center. Laura Kinney already going to win over Josie Jane on our first day. Okay, Josie Jane does claim she wasn't 100%, but Laura Kinney did put in a show. They got her a match against Sasha Banks on Raw, and we know how that all turned out. But Josie Jane now has got a point to prove, and this is where she could be quite dangerous, and we have to be very, very careful. Laura Kinney always looking to show off and show her improvement in her skills. Josie Jane, as the grizzled veteran, on the other hand, has a bone to pick. We embarrassed her on our first day at the Performance Center, which makes her a very dangerous opponent because we know she wants revenge. And as from the start of the match, as you can see, Josie Jane is all over us. She is not stopping, stamping into Laura Kinney there. Laura Kinney really not getting on her offense going until that drop kick. That's the first real offense we've had, and we need to kind of make this count now. But who's this? Tamina is at the Performance Center. Why is she here? And who is she here for? She's not gone under the ring. Josie Jane is down. I've got a feeling she's coming for us. She's coming for Laura Kinney. The referee's doing nothing about it, but a nice Hurricanrana takes the chair out of her hands. It looks to be a 2-on-1 handicap match at this point. Josie Jane working on us at this point, and then Tamina also trying to take us down. This isn't going to be good. We've got to defend against two different people here. This could become tricky. Laura Kinney needs to show everything she's made of right now, and we need to show her resilience and just keep plugging away at both of these guys until both of these people. Sorry. I don't mean guys, even guys. Until we can actually figure out a way to win. Josie Jane, though, punishing Laura Kinney at the minute. Tamina wants a pound of flesh as well, and she gets the leg drop in there. We're in trouble. Big, big trouble at this point. I'm not too sure how we're going to get around this. Both people waiting for us, Josie Jane and Tamina, both waiting for us to stand up, and they're both straight in on us. Nice reversal by Laura Kinney, though. Going for the legs of Josie Jane. We've got to try and wear her down as much as possible. Tamina, we just need to get out of the ring, I think. Hopefully that will do. Nice move there by Laura Kinney. Tamina looks to try and break up the pin, and she does, although Josie Jane does kick out first. Tamina, another Hurricanrana taking Tamina down. Trying to ignore Tamina because she's not the person we've got to beat. But at the same time, can't really ignore her when she's stopping us doing things. And she's got us up on her shoulder. This is going to hurt. Slamming Laura Kinney down there as well. And now we're going for the stomps and an elbow for good measure as well into Laura Kinney. Josie Jane into the top mount here, pounding away ground and pound style on Laura Kinney. Laura Kinney is in big trouble trying to cover up, and just trying to survive at this point against these two brutal opponents. But here she comes with a little move on Josie Jane. Nice kick to the face. Tamina still wants a pound of flesh as well. We're going to try and take her down while we can. It's Tamina down as well. Now, I just want to try and throw her out. I think Laura Kinney needs to get her out of the ring. I think that's the only way forward. But Tamina a lot stronger than Laura Kinney. But Tamina has now slid out the ring. We can focus on Josie Jane, who made the mistake of trying to gloat in the corner there. Nice combination here by Laura Kinney. Takes Josie Jane down. And maybe if Tamina stays out of the ring, we could have something here. Laura Kinney taking Josie Jane to the outside of the ring. And look at this. Nice DDT onto the apron. That has got to hurt. Josie Jane looks to be in trouble now. And Laura Kinney throwing Josie Jane back into the ring. I think this is it. It's time to finish this. I think Laura Kinney has something in mind. She's going to throw her against the ropes first. That wasn't what I was hoping to do, to be fair. Let's pick her up. And let's try and put her in the corner. We know how we want to finish this. We want to prove the point to Josie Jane. And it is the talent attack again. I've said in the comments, let me know of the name for that move. Quite happy to change the name. And it's going to be followed up by the Rage Trigger on Josie Jane. We're going to go for the pin. Tamina's not interrupting this time. This is it. It's 1. It's 2. It's 3. Laura Kinney beats Josie Jane despite the interference on Tamina. And on the social media, Sasha Banks is claiming that she sent Tamina, which is quite interesting. That's payback for what we've done to her. But surprisingly, Josie Jane isn't happy. She didn't want anyone else's help. She thought she could beat us on her own. I very much doubt it. But she didn't want the interference. And we have to make a choice. We have to decide who we're going to face. And it's a difficult decision. It is either going to be one-on-one against Tamina, or do we want Tamina and Josie in one match? Why take on 2 when you only have to take on 1? It's I suppose in some ways it's the easier option. But we've fought Josie Jane and beaten her twice now. I've got no reason to fight her again. So Tamina in the ring. It is Laura Kinney versus Tamina. Can we make up for the fact that she interrupted us last time? She didn't manage to hit us with the chair, luckily. We know she's bigger, stronger, more experienced than we are. Going for the early pin here, but the rope break breaks it up. Tamina has a lot to offer. We need to be very careful here. And straight away, Laura Kinney, aware of the physical prowess of Tamina, is going for the legs. Trying to take the base down. Damage the base. Tamina can't stand. If Tamina can't stand, then in theory, she can't do the powerful moves that we know she's capable of. At the minute, Tamina having all the action. But here is Josie Jane to come in and have a look at the match as well. She's running towards the ring. She's in the ring. Who's she going to attack? She's actually attacking Tamina. And what a move by Josie Jane, taking Tamina down. We're going to pick up these scraps and go for the pin. Why not? 1, 2. It's not enough. Tamina kicks out after 2. Obviously not enough damage early, but she's already had a finisher on her from Josie Jane. Not sure why Josie Jane came to help out. Maybe because she's upset that Tamina interrupted her match with us previously and it was payback on her part, but we'll take it. It gives us the opening. We were under the gun really against Tamina at the start. Now we've got a chance at really trying to dig at this advantage and really trying to make sure we make Tamina pay. Going for the submission here, trying to wear Tamina down. Not necessarily looking for the submission victory, but just to wear her down as much as possible. As much pressure on her as possible. I think Tamina's going to power out this, and she does indeed. But I think the damage is done, and that's what we're after here. As much damage as possible to make our lives a little bit easier the longer this match goes on. Nice drop kick out of nowhere by Laura Kinney there, taking Tamina down. Tamina doesn't know what's hit her. And again, going straight back to the legs, making sure this base of hers is not solid enough to use her powerful attacks on us. Tamina into the corner. Laura Kinney putting Tamina up top. We've seen this before. It's a nice combination from Laura Kinney here. Tamina trying to fight back in the corner. Laura Kinney knowing what she's trying to do here. A few punches into Tamina's side there. Elbows to the face as well. Look at that. Constant elbows to the face. Is she going on the shoulders? No, she's going for a reverse Hurricanrana off the top rope. That is going to hurt. It even looks like it hurts Laura Kinney. I just like that move so much. Now, Laura Kinney, silly move there, missing badly, in fact. Nice roll under though. A nice drop kick. Tamina is down again. Laura Kinney seems to be in control, but anything can happen at any moment. And this is what Laura Kinney's got to be aware of. But she does currently have Tamina where she wants her, I believe. Into the corner, Tamina goes. We've seen this before. It's going to be the Talon attack by Laura Kinney. No, it is blocked by Tamina. Tamina blocks Talon attack. But a quick follow-up by Laura Kinney. Doesn't let Tamina really get much momentum going there. Can't believe she blocked it. Nice stamp to the feet off the top rope. Stamp to the chest, sorry, off the top rope there. Tamina still looking in trouble. Another submission by Laura Kinney here. Again, just trying to wear her down. We could probably get a submission here if we can. But I think it's more to wear her down as much as possible. And she's struggling. I think she might power out. She's going to power out of this, unfortunately. But the damage is done. We are damaging Tamina quite excessively here. And that might be enough. Tamina's up again. Let's get her down. She's down once more. And I think Laura Kinney's had enough. We've seen this before. It's going to be the Mirage feint from Laura Kinney. Try and put Tamina away. Can we make it hit? It can indeed. The Mirage feint hits clean on Tamina. We're going for the pin. It is 1. It is 2. It is 3. And we have beaten Tamina. What a victory. Josie Jane did help, admittedly. But that is beautiful and dangerous complete. We're back in the locker room and Josie Jane would like another word. She can't get enough of us today, can she?
Your submissions are weak. Just an FYI.
Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome. It's pretty obvious.
What makes you such an expert anyway?
I'm from Calgary. We have a great tradition of submission wrestling.
I thought you were from Saskatoon.
That's close.
Is it?
Well, I trained in Calgary.
That's right. I'd forgotten that. The Hearts are from there, right? You trained with them?
Well, no. I trained with Riley Flash. And he was trained by a guy who trained with a guy who knew them pretty well. So, you know, osmosis.
Sounds like your science is as weak as your geography. Makes sense, though. Riley Flash is the Saskatoon of wrestling.
I know you're insulting my mentor, even if I'm not exactly sure how. But we're getting in the ring for a good old-fashioned Calgary submission match to settle this.
What's a Calgary submission match?
Same as a regular submission match, but someone from Calgary is in the ring.
So, really a Saskatoon submission match.
You want to wrestle or not?
Take it easy. Let's find out whose submission game needs work.
So there we have it, Josie Jane challenging us to a submission match. Now, submissions are something we've been working on with Laura Kinney. It is something we want to use as much as we can with her offense. But we haven't had much success so far. But we have a submission match against Josie Jane. Now, Josie Jane did help us against Tamina. We've got to ignore that and put that to one side. This is one-on-one. We have beaten her twice. I've no idea what's happening in the corner there. For some reason, it didn't seem to want to do what we wanted it to do. We've beaten Josie Jane twice. We need to make this 3 out of 3. It's vitally important we do not lose in a submission match to Josie Jane. And submission locked in by Laura Kinney is far too early, but the damage is being done, and that's the important part. Wearing and grinding Josie Jane down. But yeah, with 2 victories out of 2, we cannot lose to Josie Jane. We need to make sure she realises that her time has been and gone. And now it's the time of Laura Kinney. Josie Jane making the comeback there though. And Laura Kinney having to cover up on the mat as we get a bit of ground and pound from Josie Jane. She's really getting a pound of flesh out of Laura Kinney at the minute. And Laura Kinney, nothing she can do but cover up at this point. As Josie Jane stands on her hand and then kicks her in the arm just to make it really hurt. Nice reversal there by Laura Kinney as Josie Jane jumps off the top rope. Nice reversal, and Laura Kinney now trying to build some momentum herself. Just trying to keep on top of Josie Jane. Not let her get anything going if we can. Not necessarily going for submission all the time, but we'll go for a few. The whole point is to try and just wear her down, grind her down as much as possible. Here we are going for the hand. She's going to need that arm if she wants to do a submission. The more damage we can do to it, the better for us. And so far, Laura Kinney is giving a very good account of herself. Can we make it a hat-trick of victories over Josie Jane? To be fair, I'll be glad we never have to fight Josie Jane again, to be honest. We've fought her enough times, to be honest. Josie Jane now trying to make a comeback. She's picked up Laura Kinney, and what a move. And she's following through. She's rolling through. Still has hold of Laura Kinney at this point. Taking her down again. That is going to hurt. Laura Kinney now needs to get up. She needs to fight back. Keep this momentum on her side, and she does that. She takes her down once again. Nice kick to the face. Look at that. And Josie Jane is in trouble. Laura Kinney does seem to be in control. There's moments that you think Josie Jane is coming back into this, but she's not quite managing to. Nice takedown, backbreaker by Laura Kinney there. And I think Laura Kinney has something in mind here. This is the beginning of the end, maybe. It is going to be talent attack by Laura Kinney on Josie Jane. This must be enough to put her away, surely. It's going to be followed up by the rage trigger, taking Josie Jane down. Submission time it's got to be. What submission are we going for? I can't remember what the submission's called offhand, but we've got her locked in after she's suffered the talent attack and the rage trigger. This must be it for Josie Jane. There's no way she's going to get out of this. It must be all over. She just needs to tap, but no. She's powering out, and she has managed to power out against Laura Kinney. That was our best chance of winning so far, and I can't believe we couldn't quite manage to make it work. I don't know how she managed to get out of that. Another nice backbreaker there by Laura Kinney. Laura Kinney looking a bit desperate now. Went for the sharpshooter, got kicked away as well there. We kind of thought we had it in the bag. Josie Jane very quick to make sure we didn't, but nice reversal there by Laura Kinney. Now we just need to keep putting the pressure on. We had a chance to win there, and it just didn't really happen for us. So now we just got to keep the pressure on. She's not quite ready to give up just yet, and I wouldn't expect it from Josie Jane. She is a grizzled veteran after all. She knows what she needs to do to withstand the pressure. But the sharpshooter being locked in here by Laura Kinney. Is this enough to make Josie Jane quit? Not by the looks of it. I think she's going to power out of this. She is going to power out, unfortunately, and take Laura Kinney down in the process. Didn't think we were going to get. I thought we'd get away with that, and we thought we may even get a surprise submission there. But Josie Jane thought better of it. Nice reversal from Laura Kinney, kind of out of the blue, and this is out of the blue as well. It's Crescent Scythe by Laura Kinney, and we know what she's looking for next. We've seen this before from her. She's looking for the Mirage Feint on Josie Jane. We've got her in her sights, and it's hit. She has hit the Mirage Feint on Josie Jane, and to finish this off, let's go for the submission as we have to. It is going to be the sharpshooter submission from Laura Kinney on Josie Jane. Is it enough? Can we get her to tap out this time? Nearly. We can indeed. Josie Jane loses in the Calgary submission match. Laura Kinney, hat-trick of victories over Josie Jane. And what a result. And what an episode. That's been a full-on episode at the Performance Centre today. Lots of matches, lots of storylines complete. And if you're enjoying the series or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. A like on the episodes does help as well. And we'll see you very soon with more WWE 2K22 MyRise.